itself. The bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the desert, we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all the toxic self. When the bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the desert, we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all the toxic self. When the bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the desert, we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all that toxic self. When the bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Wepa, kenepa. Hey, Hansu, Bandog. Yo, I'm testing my. Wepa. Yes, Sunday, the solar day, right? I'm coming on here. I just want to just chill, overcast here. Hold on a second. And I want to build a little bit on some things, sort of like wrap things up. Even though I believe, even though I subscribe to the fact that Sunday is the first day of the week, you know what I'm saying? That's the first day, because that's the sun. The sun is the first, right? But, that's just me. That's just me. There goes the link. Anybody wants to come in, I'm also going to probably put that on the Facebook. No one is here on the Facebook. I don't know who's on the LinkedIn. But, yeah, let's go forward. Let me come on camera. Hold on a second. I got this weather. You got to be very careful with this weather, because this weather can definitely get you sick, bro. The sniffles. We went from the high, the 80 something, 89 to 90, all the way down to 50, back up to 80. Now they say it's gonna go down to about 60 something. So there's up and down now. As I say, it's a flu season. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what's going on. Much blessings to Alex Honsu. Told me about the papaya. I like the papaya a lot, so I do papaya with my yogurt for my biotics, prebiotics, my yogurt, and for the digestive system, also the enzyme that's in the papaya. I looked it up, and yeah, I mean, it has so many benefits. So yeah, I do go get me the papaya and stuff like that. Here I am representing, even though I don't subscribe to that whole Hispanic month, hey, every month it's Hispanic month. His panic, you break down the word, his panic month. You know what I'm saying? I look at, and I don't, like I say, that whole panic and that whole paranoia and stuff like that. Yeah, those feelings can come into your mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna break that down about the different minds. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I like, to be honest with you, Reverend Ike said something interesting that I read. He said that your negative thoughts, that's the devil in you. Your own negative thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That's the devil in you. So this whole concept between God and the devil are just your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to expound a little bit on that. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to expound on that. For the students, the initiates, I'm going to get the Patreon ready, and also I'm going to do some private. I did one of them for the initiates who's getting these private conversations that I personally had, and I experience, experimentation, and also reasoning, definition and explanations, reasoning and explorations. It's the X. I don't have my pen with me, but I will one day. The X factor, the EXP factor. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And it's getting a very good, it's getting a couple of stars on there, because, we broke down, where all of this, together with the nature and Now Valley Science, we broke out that we broke it down that a lot of times, and I'm going to explain the different minds, and I'm not going to go so deeply on this podcast because I'm going to honor that sacred knowledge that's going to be for the initiated, the people that I love dearly. So, I one of them is here, Bond Dog. Listen, my email, get with me. So you can participate in here goes my email. Participate in these initiative classes, you know what I'm saying? And it's not expensive at all because I want to share this and, but at the same time, it's called offerings, free will offerings. And what's important is because you give value to it. You know what I'm saying? If you get people think, when you get things free, you don't have too much value for it. I didn't pay nothing for it. But when you pay something for something, you value it. You keep it dear to you. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to mention that. Hey, Sandro, what's up, my brother? I can't read that, but vaya huepa quenepa. Man, I finished my quenepas. But yes. That's the, you know what I'm saying? So anybody, this is my email here. Let me put up my email again. And all those that I hold dear, mi amore, amor, more, all of those that I hold dear to me, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to share this sacred. I'm not the only one, but I'm one of those that spend close to 45 years in search and a quest. And it led me to certain mystics, people, you know what I'm saying, that had this profound, you know what I'm saying, that share this profound thoughts, and feelings and thoughts, you know what I'm saying? And we were able to build. And that's what it's all about. I want to build for those that are able to expand. Now, I'm going to explain some of the minds, right? A mind, now you can spell it hold up. Let me do something here for y'all. I'm sorry. Let me get with this here because I don't want to teach so much. I just really want to have conversation. But until somebody pops up, we're going to do some stuff. Okay. We're going to just give me 1 second. And what we're going to do is, almost like a class, but I really don't want to make it a class. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that pops in and wants to have conversation is more than welcome to. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Let me share my screen over here on this here. Let me see. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to share that. Okay. I'm going to share that screen. Okay. You can see that, right? And mind. And we all know what a mine is, right? Gold mine, metal mine or mine, or where you mine coal and stuff like that, right? Then you got the word mind, right? Actually, let me put this over here. That word, mind, right? Let me bring this up over here. Mind, like this is mine. It's a possession, right? But then you have mind, which is a reservoir, right? Simple, right? Is a reservoir. I put it here. Reservoir. Oh, how you spell reservoir? Reservoir. I got. No, hold up. I don't have the correction thing here. Sorry for my spelling. Okay, but you know what? You get it. Reservoir, right? You might want to put it in the chat. Go ahead and put it in the chat. A reservoir. A reservoir is a pool of, you see, like a reservoir of water, right? You have a reservoir of water. You have a reservoir of they call many different reservoirs. A reservoir of gold. A gold mine is a reservoir, right? But then a mind, you have a reservoir. Now, everyone knows about this mind, right, where the brain is, right? It's apart from the brain, you have a reservoir of thoughts and ideas and concepts. You get that? Thoughts, right? In this mind here, right? Equals what? Thoughts and ideas, right? And concepts, right? Concepts, right? Just so you can see that, right? Concepts, right? Thoughts, ideas, and concepts, right? Man, that's coming out small. Why is it coming out small? I need to do this bigger. I want all of it to be bigger, right? And this, and this, and this, the equal sign. Okay, thoughts, ideas, and concept is this mind that all of us are accustomed to, right? Your thinking mind, right? That's a thinking mind, right? Thinking mind, right? Right. Then we have what you call the abdominal brain, which is your solar mind, right? The abdominal brain, which is your solar mind, which is your solar plexus. Solar plexus, your solar mind, your abdominal brain, your solar mind, your solar plexus, right? Yeah, well, I do have a correction thing here, right? So you got this mind, there's ideas and concept. Then you have this other mind, which is your brain, your abdominal brain, your solar plexus, which is right here in the middle where people say is a heart, but it's actually the solar plexus. So your heart is a little bit to the left, very close to the solar plexus. And I'm going to explain about that mind. The commonality between your thinking mind, right, this mind, and your feeling mind, it's more your feeling mind, right? Your feeling abdominal brain. That's the solar plexus, right? Right there in your solar plexus. Let me see. Hey, shout out to my padrino. Hold on, let me get rid of this here. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't going to make this a teaching moment, but let me show you something here. Shout out to Okani Lu. Yes, Okani Lu coming at you. You know, that's from my padrino. Okani Lu coming at you. So, let me look over here. So, this thinking mind, and you have your what? Your solar plexus right here. Right here. It's in the pit of the stomach. Boxers know that a punch here can instantly kill you. That's the solar plex. A punch there, a lot of times they even punch in the side, it can knock you out because it shot, you know, it kind of like shakes. So this right here, that's another mind, another brain, because a brain are bundles of muscles, you know, a gray matter, right? And white matter and gray matter. Here you have a bundle of muscles, also gray matter. Here, this is what again, is feelings, habitat. With this brain here, all the feelings that you're having, right? With this brain, you set your habits. If you think about something, right, and you don't create habits with this brain here, this willpower, it won't work. You know what I'm saying? It's just thoughts and ideas that's gonna dissipate, go back to the unseen. You know what I'm saying? So that's important. That's a brain. That's a mind, right? I'm not going to talk about the sub ones, the one that goes lower. I'm going to talk about the one that's called the transcendental mind, called the transcendental brain mind. You know what that one is? Oh, here, let me correct the spelling on this. Transcendental brain and mind, right? You know what that is? Remember, a reservoir. Here you have a reservoir of feelings. You collect those reservoir of feelings that produces your habits. Here you have the reservoir of ideas and concepts. Guess what? There's a reservoir of stars, constellation. That's a reservoir. That's the transcendental mind. That's the source of the sun we know today. The sun. Because the sun is part of that. There is a genetic blueprint amongst these stars. Now, this is just an introduction because I went into the class and I showed them how stars collide and how it became, battles and stuff like that with primordial being. So what is a primordial being? Primordial means the first beings that we are, and that is what? Substance, chemical substance, right? Nitrogen, phosphorus, oxygen. I'm gonna look, man. I need to. I'm going to save that for the class because I'm going to really go deep into that. But we're made of star substance. So stars are made of a certain substance, phosphorus, phosphorus, nitrogen, and stuff like that. We are also the same. We have a star solar quality here, that willpower here. And a matter of fact, Alex is reading about Carlos Castaneda and the separate reality, where he sees this thing here becomes his willpower, lights up, right? That's your solar energy. That is your star energy, right in that gut. Your intuitions and everything, the feelings you have, the habits that you produce are stored there in that mind, that reservoir. Yeah. And when that reservoir of feelings and habits are in tune with the ideas and concepts, then you're well balanced. Then you have what they call the transcendental mind, right? Which affects us all. Because those are constellations, and those constellations create electromagnetic forces, right? That the sun collects and shares with the planet. That's that mind. You also have an earth mind, but we're not going to go into that, and the moon has his mind. We're not going to go into that, but we're talking about the transcendental mind. We're talking about those constellations, and this is biblical, but I'm not going to go into the Bible, and we're not going to talk about that right now. Okay, let me see. Comment. Salim. Hua. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, Yama, Ya'lamu ma huwa illa Hua, Yahuwah, Yahuwah. Naam. Assalamu alaikum, Salim. Assalamu alaikum. And even in the Quran Muqtasir, even in the Quran, you do find also reference to constellations. And so maybe Salim, if you want to put it up in here, that's up to you. But yeah, you do find reference to the constellations. You know what I'm saying? Very, very important. This is part of the transcendental mind that you learn this in certain universities and stuff like that, about that part of you, that etheric body part. You know what I'm saying? That etheric part of you, that's that energy that moves your muscles. And a lot of that energy is not all light waves. A lot of that energy is also tones, sonar waves, tones and frequencies. And that's where I lend to more to the tones and frequencies. Very important. So I just wanted to share that with your guys. You know what I'm saying? That those minds. So that when you deal with the transcendental mind, you deal with constellation. Now, that's astronomy, but then astronomy, they went into astrology. I'm not talking about astrology. Astrology is more like a watered down, they say pseudo, watered down. But when you deal with astronomy, you deal with telescopes, you deal with learning about the constellations, the Sagittarius arm, dealing with Sirius, Orion. Our ancestors were very invested in that. And even the Quran, Muhammad, we're very invested in a lot of that in the Islamic world, with the observation of the stars, the Kemetic people, the Indian. There's a lot of observatory compound in India where they observe, you know what I'm saying? And they watch the processions and they watch the stars and the forming of the star. Also farmers, agriculture, migration of people. Migration of people has a lot to do with the star energy. But we'll go into that. That's deep. We'll go into that another time. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to come on here and just, start this conversation if anybody wants to chime in. So this, again, here's my email. get at me if you want to be part of this class. And like I said, I'm setting up a Patreon. I don't know whether to do a Patreon, but I'm also setting up my PayPal. And it's not much. Because Patreon is like, what, $5 a month? $5 a month. And the content that I'm going to put in there is for you and your family. You know what I'm saying? If you have an archive of lessons and conversations. Now, I cannot initiate anybody into the Sufi order because that has to be done with, the right way. Like I can't initiate anybody into the Freemasonry, which is you see, our original order, ancient order, spread out into the order of Melchizedek, the Sufi order, and then also Christianity, the Mason, the African Masonic order, not the other Masonic order that they hijacked and created that order under Albert Pike and stuff like that, and they sort of like supplanted the original African order, which has a lot to do with Islam, a lot to do with Islam, a lot to do with Judaism. You know what I'm saying? Then it went to Christianity. But then we can speak about that another time. I'd like to do a presentation on that. I've done a nice presentation on esoteric thought. And I just introduced and touched upon that. You know what I'm saying? But let me see what I'm gonna talk about. So, Borinquen, star. I don't know. This flag at one time was banded. They didn't allow people to fly this flag. You know what I'm saying? It was against the law. You even became in prison. But then they fought very hard to get this flag. There's a light blue flag, and there's this dark blue flag. And then, the revolutionary flag is the one that's black and white. But then you have the flag of lattice. That was another flag that they tried to introduce, which still have a star with the light blue and the white cross like that with the red and the light blue on top. That's the flag of lattice. You know what I'm saying? I have it somewhere around here, but I didn't intend to do no presentation, anything. I like to prepare myself with slides. But anyway, Borinquen. Well, I know, they call it like Isla de Encanto, the enchanted island. And the people there are bouncing back. That there was a hurricane that went through there, and everybody's bouncing back, and there's a lot of great things happening, man. In Puerto Rico, and I tell people, now, it's biblical prophet. Bro, Puerto Rico has been, even Florida, we have been bombarded by tornadoes and hurricanes and storms since memorable time. You know what I'm saying? And that island still survived. You know what I'm saying? So I don't subscribe to the narrative. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a prophecy. I'm gonna do a presentation on prophecy. Now, I don't know everything. I don't, but I know what I know. And I reason to know. Look at the word know. Let's look at the word know. Hold on one second. Sorry. Look at the word know. Yeah, wait a minute. Oh, I should have took all this stuff out. Well, no, anyway. Look at the word no. Look what you see in that word no, right? You got the word what? What? The now. No, now. You know what I'm saying? It's simple. Simple mathematics. It's elementary. Look at that. To be in the knowing is to know what's happening now. I shared this before. There is a Sufi axiom that says you can believe in your card that it'll take you to your destination, right? But not know that there's a wheel loose. To know is to investigate the now. What's happening now? Not the belief. Right? Right now. What's going on now? You know what I'm saying? And that is to know. So I know what I know because I'm in the now. I tend to always try to see, well, what is it now? I respect the past and I can respect what's going to happen in the future, but those things are unseen to me. I want to know what's now, right now. How are we going to benefit? What is it doing to us now? That's the knowing. You see that? See that? That's how I think. And many of us think like that. I ain't the only one. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is all about. You know what I'm saying? So again, my email, get at me. But make sure you put in the description your either your Facebook name or your your YouTube, your name in the description, because sometimes your email might be different than what your name is, so that I'll know. And then reach out to me and says, listen, I'm interested in this this science class, these classes, series of classes. And like I said, I do have a Patreon set up, but I'm going to now start to move that Patreon. And I said it's $5 a month, but you're gonna get, and that's nothing, man. And that's because of the offering, the exchange offering. That's the way it's been done in ancient time. But that's nothing. I mean, if you want to give more, then by all means do more. But that's important, so it can give value to the information that you're gonna receive, right? And then also I got Cash App and PayPal, which I'll put up here soon. You know what I'm saying? My PayPal. This is my Cash App right here, my description here, $. Because some people, I don't want to do the Patreon, $5 a month. So if you, let's say, I don't care, whatever you want to give, $20. You're $20. I'll send you, because I pre-record a lot of these videos, and I send you videos. Hey, here's $20. Okay, well, I'll send you 4 months of videos. How's that? And I'm gonna try to do like 4 a video a week, or from 2 to 4. So you probably get 4 videos, right? Or maybe even more. I just gonna let it flow. And again, I can't initiate nobody in the Sufi order, because that has to be done, by the Gupt. It has to be done a certain way, But I can inspire you to seek these mystical knowledge, because as a spiritual master, one who masters the art of inspiring through rhythms, music, also through what they call conversation, philosophy. That's a 6/8, right? 2, 3. Right? Or 2, 3. 3, 2. And salsa. I can do classes in that also. You just tell me if you want to do classes in rhythm and percussion, we can do that also. That's up to you. But speaking about inspiring people, right? With the way I was inspired. You know what I'm saying? And the lessons that I received. And let me tell you something. A lot of mystics, there are mystics out there that you would never know. It's that genetically, some people out there are mystic genetically. They carry that information, and once in a while, it comes out. Boom! It's like the etheric body takes over. The etheric body becomes stronger than willpower, and all of a sudden, bam! That's the wisdom of the elders. You sat down with your grandfather, an elder, and all of a sudden, boom! they throw something at you, and you says, that's interesting. Like now in hip hop, they say bars. That's a bar, Pop. You just drop a bar, what they say, a jewel. You know what I'm saying? And also, listen, so Borinquen, been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? I want to do a presentation about the archaeology, the architectures, and of the ancient African Masonic order being in Puerto Rico, and spearheading. Because remember, a lot of these elders, lecturers, these what they consider these great men of learned men, moved to the Masonic because Masons had a thing where they collected information, and with the group of people were able to come together with a goal and idea and build the libraries, build institutions, right? Build those lodges, became libraries, institutions. They collect a lot of information because that's one of the edicts, and that's one of the Masonic thing when you have to go through the possession. You know what I'm saying? Possession, but not possessions. possession. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get possessed. Possessed, but hey, I'd rather be possessed by knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, so I can gain that overstanding, yeah, and that wisdom. I'd rather be possessed by that, to be honest, and right reasoning, right thoughts. You know, okay. So you have many reservoirs, okay, but you know, yeah, you have many reservoirs, and one that's interesting is this star reservoir, the transcendental reservoir, you know, stuff like that. And for the class, I'm gonna go real deep into that, how that science, right, star science, became pantheism, and then became religion. You can go in religion, and I've done that before on some of the podcasts, show how you can go into certain texts, in religious texts, I don't care what religion you're in, and connect to the source, which is the stars. You know what I'm saying? Actual nature science. Because you see the stars every day. You look up to the sky, you see stars. That's not an illusion. Those are lights. Those are promoted. Those, you know what I'm saying? Those substances. And they're far, far, far away, but you see a cluster of stars. Like that's evident. You know what I'm saying? You see it. Observation with this sense, right? And then you make other senses, common sense, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, man, you know, anybody got any questions? You could give me questions on here. So, you know, Borinquen, you know, someday I'm rocking the flag and stuff like that. I'm rocking a Kanilu. People are like, oh, that's Santeria. But listen, I'm a percussionist. You know what I'm saying? I a mystic. You can cloak into many different schools of thoughts. Because the key is unconditional caring. The most high frequency is that unconditional caring, that heart energy. The Kut Kwabat, the center, right? So to find in Santeria the source, to lead you back to what? That's natural science. I can go to Judaism and find natural science. It's what we do. And that's why I want the initiative to, that's what's to do, you know, to learn. And you know, not to learn, but reactivate that, because I'm telling you, a lot of the initiatives that I have now are so well advanced. They're advanced that I'm like, damn, what I'm gonna do? These brothers are too advanced. So now I have to transcend, and I just gotta share. So it's not really teaching. It's just sharing, and you know, I'm sharing, and at the same time, I also want that communication, because once I send you that video and you have it in your archive and you have any questions, you have the email and questions. And some of my initiative calls me, hey man, I love what you said about this. Can you explain a little more on this and this and that, and explain it? And I will explain it in more in expound on it and expand it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's just a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I want to reach out to those that they feel that they don't belong in this world. You know what I'm saying? There's something different about it. I felt like that. I want to reach out to those, because those are your mystics. The celestial beings, your mystics, that they feel, I don't know, this world's funny. I feel like out of place. I'm walking and I feel out of place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's in your mind, but that's a mystics. And we all know mystics live not a lonely life, but a solitude life. Because one thing that the mystic Jesus said, being that this is Sunday church, right? He said a prophet is without honor in his own household. That's the mystic. The prophet was a mystic. Mystics are with no honor, without honor in their own household. Because your household are your tests. Your tests for you to develop the mystic lessons like discipline, patience, sacrifice. Those lesser lessons, but there are more deeper lessons. You know what I'm saying? But your household, man, they test you. And I attest to that. You without honor. And for my Sabine look at Pat in his own house. No. Look what happened. In my house, I mean, I still put my foot down, and they still know, they still respect who I am and what I represent and me. But still, without honor. Without honor. Why? And it says that also in The Prince by Machiavelli, that because there's so much love there that they trespass that love. The compassion, they'll trespass. But fear, they don't trespass fear. So it's better for man to fear you. That's how they believe. I don't think like that. I balance things. It's better that they fear you than to have that too much compassion. Because they're gonna be like, oh, it's all right. I made a mistake. Papa's gonna forgive me. But when they feel like, yo, Pops ain't playing, bro. Boom, boom, boom. He ain't playing. He's sledgehammer, bro. He ain't playing. He's about to get busy up in there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So there is a certain way of life that a lot of mystics goes into solitude. And you're going to, it's biblical. Muhammad had to go into solitude. Muhammad, even before he received the Quran, he was in solitude, he was in the mountain. Solitude. Because he didn't belong. He felt like, I don't belong. And led him into that journey. And then in solitude, went into the mountains. Moses didn't belong. Adam. Because where was Adam when Eve was in the garden and she got deceived? Where was Adam? Where? Huh? It's solitude. You know what I'm saying? Noah. Solitude. You can read those stories on and on and on. You can go to the Illuminati. You can go into all, and you see a lot of what they call mystics. Muhammad Ahmed and Mahdi. And man, shout out to Corey. He's not here, Tori and Lionel, man, but they did a great presentation because they dropped that name, Muhammad Ahmed and Mahdi, boom, from Sudan. Man, yo. And that's my line of succession. That's my lineage. That's where I'm there from Mali to Sudan. But yo, wow. I was shocked and surprised because a lot of times you talk about people, they don't want to hear that. What does it have to do with African liberation? They say Black liberation. A lot. Because Muhammad Ahmed Mahdi at that time had his companions. And then those companions went out and had children. And guess who's one of the children or one of the companions of Muhammad Ahmed Mahdi? Dusa Muhammad. Look it up. Dusa Muhammad was the one that spearheaded, who taught Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali. Marcus Garvey, Dusa, you see, they try to hide that, but there's people, there's documentation, there's people that know. I can give you the sources. I'm gonna bring them sources one day. I'm gonna bring it to you. When we have that conversation, because I could do a presentation on that also. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I said to myself, I gotta be not careful and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not, and it's not that I don't fear anything, but when you are a certain character, and it kind of like creates some envy and jealousy in people. I've been pretty well over here in my I haven't had no trolls, I haven't had people mess with me. But there's other ways they can mess with you, you know what I'm saying? There's this wavelength that could be sent to you to sort of like shift your mind, mental wave, but you got to be strong. You got to be strong. You got to know about those frequencies, and you got to harness those frequencies within you so that you can push back those other frequencies that are trying to cause you to think a certain way. You know what I'm saying? They say a lot of people here in the States, even around the world, are committing suicide. The rate is going up more and more and more. And I say, yeah, look at the radiation. So a lot of people, I got Wi-Fi, I got ultra Wi-Fi. I can have 100 devices in my house. That means that my Wi-Fi is freaking strong. 100 devices in my own house. You know what I'm saying? So all of that radiation and frequencies, again, affects your brain. That's blue light. It's fast. Coming at you fast. And a lot of time it could, you can have radiation poison. I try. I mean, my box is here, and my grandson's here. So how much I try. You know what? I decided, and I told my family that in the middle of the night, I'd say 12 midnight, maybe 1 and 12, right around that time, I'm gonna plug the Wi-Fi, or I'm unplug it, so that when we sleep, we don't have Wi-Fi until we get up in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. Then I'll plug it back in. You know what I'm saying? So watch where you have your box at. Try not to be, too much around in your family. You know what I'm saying? There are hats. I want to get those beanie hats that protect you from the radiation, because, a lot of cities are being turned into Rahul Bad. Who's this? Babu, peace. A lot of these cities now all over the world are becoming AI cities. That was what the whole 5G program was about. And even further, the whole amping. A lot of money, government put a lot of money for the infrastructure into amp Wi-Fi and stuff like that, create that access. But then what that doing is causing a lot of radiation in the planet, causing a lot of radiation. Is it going to be our demise? I don't know. It could be, because that's radiation poison. The more they amp thing, they want to control it, we might have a problem. But there are certain plants and trees that protect you from radiation. I'm gonna do a podcast about that. I'm gonna look into those plants, and I want people to go out there and protect themselves and get those plants. Like the snake plant is one. The snake plant, these people that have them in the house, put it by your Wi-Fi. I mean, that protects you from a lot of those radiation. Saludo, mi hermano Bondo. Hi, Bondo. What's up, man? Brother. So yeah, the protection from radiation, stuff like that. Is it going to be our demise? Well, let me tell you something. There have been other civilizations, and we're going to talk about that has fallen because of the technology advancement. And then when they had there's certain people that control those technology advancement. The other people that didn't have control was afraid of those people that had control of the advance of the technology, that they had that control and that power. And at any time, they can destroy these people. That's fear, cause of fear. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to speak about that in another podcast. You know what I'm saying? Of that friction. That's what happened in Utla, the super advanced city. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. A lot of this religion, pantheism, the nature side religion, was started in what they call people pseudo Atlantis, but it's not Atlantis. That's the Greek name of Atlantis, but it was Utlat. And you had different sections, Gonkia, Maxim, Gongia. You had many different sections, was sectioned off. But it was a big landmass with the continent going on Africa and South America and the Caribbean, inside the Caribbean, the Bermuda Triangle, all that was above water. And there was water plaza. And then you see if you study topography, if you study mapping, you study oceanography and geographic oceanography, it there's a lot of studies about that, and you can see it. The puzzle fits perfectly. That's interesting. Very interesting. That's another podcast that we like to do, to put in, actual sources. Like I say, you gotta source up, CeeLos. I'm gonna source up. Hey man, shout out to my brothers out there, everybody watching. Appreciate you all. So yeah, Borinquen. Just like any ethnic groups, because we are one race, a human race, and that was coined by Noble Drew Ali, right? And you can see they got that from the mystic Muhammad Ahmad Mahdi and Dusa Muhammad, that we all one human race. But different ethnics, groups, culture, could cultivate different conditions that we were in. And I was gonna say, I'm 60 years old, man. I gotta get it together. You know what? And it's been happening because of the Wi-Fi and stuff. I got to get that device to clean a lot of the stuff in the ear, or peroxide and water clean out the ear, because then a lot of times when you start forgetting your train of thought and stuff like that, is because of that. You know what I'm saying? So I got work to do. Like I said, I'm perfect. I got work to do. But what I was leading to was mention Nobuju Ali. They'll come to me. They'll come to me. I'm basically on point with a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But lately I've been having that, so I know that I got to do some work. I got to do some cleaning and some brain work. This reservoir, this reservoir, sometimes you got to cleanse the reservoir. You got to cleanse your feeling. You got to cleanse that. That's meditation. Is the meditation, the medication. You got to cleanse it. You got to cleanse your ideas and your thoughts, man. Like I said, Reverend Ike, I love that he said that, the devil is just your negative thoughts in your mind, what I was going to say is this, that they named it Atlantis, but it's Utla, and you see, or you study it, religion, pantheism first came out of there. And religion, everything, because these people and that super advanced civilization, and we're going to go into that because there's resources, had solar energy. You see this same narrative in many different ancient scrolls. The celestial cow, the coming forth of the day, the celestial cow, and you see that in the story of Rama, right? The verdict with Rama, the solar people. You got the monkey people, you got the solar people. The solar people. This was a super advanced civilization that was on this earth, right? That had technology, solar technology, nuclear technology. The nuclear technology is nothing new, yo. Nothing. The reason why it fell back into Renaissance and we got away from that because of the nuclear holocaust that was caused thousands of years ago when you had a certain class of people that feared, and what happened is that the hierarchy, these super advanced scientists, the hierarchy, the one that had the judge, the one that was the solar energy invested in that, they created a narrative to try to put fear into people and created certain narratives to keep them away from that solar technology because they want to control it, right? Scarcity, they want to control it. But when these people started to, hey, wait a minute, and they started to overcome that particular narrative and that programming, they reign upon those nuclear places, those nuclear what they call complex that provide energy throughout this civilization and cause a holocaust. That's why you got certain deserts. People say, "Oh no, that's because the temperature change." No, that desert. If you study desert and the material that deserts are made out of, it's not about time. I mean, everything is about time, but it wasn't caused by natural disaster. No, that was a holocaust that caused and helped shift the Platonic plates a different way. Yeah, they got groups, the University of New Mexico, that go mining groups and go down and they see evidence how these deposit, and they're saying, how is that sulfur? Where did this come from? It's like there was a nuclear blast, and because they study nuclear blasts, and when they do these blasts, nuclear blasts, after that they got a team that studies the effect, the outcome, the effects. So you got scientists that collect, samples. So they're doing this and they're finding that, again, it's about reasoning, thinking, and reading certain things. You say, wow, how is these deposits? It's like nuclear holocaust. It's like a nuclear blast. And after effect, got the same deposit, same material. You know? So listen, I'm just I can talk. I'm just having this conversation with you guys. You know, I have me a little cup of espresso. I usually don't do that, but I made me a little cup of espresso, man. Choo! And that had me. I went to the store. I got up. I was like, oh, I mean, it had me a little. But yeah. So again, this is my email, yo. If you want to be part, and what I'm discussing here, it's just the surface. When you go deep into this, oh wow. When you go deep into this, but it's for those of you, you see, you can be in solitude, but still have a family to take care of. Muhammad Ahmad al-Mahdi went into solitude, right? A mystic into solitude, but he still had his family. Muhammad, the same thing, where he had a daughter, Fatima, right? But then later on, he had more children. But then all of your mystics, you know what I'm saying? Bruce Lee was studying to be a mystic, you know, amongst a lot of mystics. He had his family. But if you look in the story of Bruce Lee, he spent a lot of time in solitude and away from his family. You know, some not mystics. So you could be a mystic and live a solitude life, but still have a family to take care of. But trust me, it's going to amplify that sense of being alone, solitude alone. Because again, for Salim, Suratul Ikhlas, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Kul huwallahu ahad. Ahad is not wahad, it's ahad. It's aloneness, a solitude. Those are the purified ones. That's the ways of the mystics. And then I break down the other ones. So astaghfirullah for not completing that surah, because I have respect for different schools of thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting to the hour mark, like I said. And listen, if you can, there you go. Donate. You know, shout out to those who always donates to me from here and then. I appreciate you very much. And a lot of that, like I'm setting up my PayPal also. A lot of that stuff I use for material, stuff like that, you know, buy books, order some stuff, materials and stuff like that. Keep my Wi-Fi going. And StreamYard is $25 a month, so that I can stream multiple places and stuff like that. And so StreamYard pretty good. And so, you know, and tell your people, or those on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube, Silos Conga, man. Subscribe to that. Even if you're on my Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube. Let's get that YouTube popping. Because then, you know, if I can create another stream of income through that, that'd be nice. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, again, materials and stuff like that. I'm okay. I'm well off. I don't need to survive. Eat money to eat. I ain't gonna tell you, I don't need money. I'm okay. I'm not wealthy, luxurious, or wealthy, but I live a very simple life. But I'm okay. I'm good. But then I want to start pulling a stream to do things to share with people as a mentor. I'm living my second curve. 60 years old. Man, my hair is getting white. So pretty soon, maybe in a couple of years, you're going to see white beard, white hair, like what they call it, shukuh. You know what I'm saying? The elders of the city of the Rezikians. Oh man, that's another build. And that computer in the center of the earth called Mech, where they get the idea of Macintosh. The Mac. Deep. I remember when I was young too. I'm just shooting the breeze here. I remember when I was young, they took us to a trip to the IBM building, and those were the first computers. And I think this was 60 something. I remember I was in probably first grade or second grade. So it must have been like 64, 65, or 66. 60. Oh, dude, that's deep. 66, IBM, HAL. Oh, my. We could break that down one day. But they took us to this room, and you see all a big, with the real, that was a computer room. A computer room. So they've been using the computer for a very, very long time, since the 60s, even in the 40s and 50s, in the 40s and 30s, I believe that they had the computer, certain devices that were operated like a computerized. It's just that as time went on, they rebrand, they made it, the chips, chips came in. And they say that the chips, Japanese chips, was given to the Japanese because of the atomic bomb that was set there. So I'm just saying, this is the narrative, take it as, this is fact, this is, I don't know how you want to see it, but this is just what I've been told. I was given some extraterrestrials, some other beings from other planet came and gave it to the Japanese because they were destroyed by those two nuclear bombs that they dropped on them. And then you seeing how the Japanese took over. There was a time the Japanese run America. Mitsubishi had 52% of Rockefeller Center. I remember because I used to work at Rockefeller Center, Radio City Music Hall, and I remember that Mitsubishi owned Time Warner, Sony. That whole Rockefeller Center where you see Time Warner, Sony across the street, the National Press Association, 30 Rock, where they do a lot of them. Those buildings all were owned by Japanese, and you see Japanese CEOs coming in. More Japanese people coming in. That was in the 80s. Today, I don't know. I don't know what's happening today because I don't be around that area. When I go around certain areas, I observe that area. I find out what that area is all about. Atlanta, that's the Black Mecca. And guess what? North Carolina is becoming also a Black Mecca. North Carolina, believe it. So when you look at North Carolina too, and South Carolina, North Carolina, we're also, a lot of times the Bermuda Triangle, the point also moves and it shifts over to North Carolina. Yep, and you got the Bermuda, by the Bahamas. It's not too far off. Well, anyway, I'm going to leave it there, man. Hey, all in blessings and continue having a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blessing, a beautiful day. And, again, it's not that I know a lot of things like that. I like to have conversations with people. You know what I'm saying? I like to have that exchange sometimes. And it's not that I know everything. I know the all. That's definite article. The all within the all is natural nature. So I know those laws because of now, applying them now. So I know that pain is offset by pleasure, pleasure offset. These principles and the blood lineage, so I'm careful what I do because I'm representing a whole being, right? And a human being. So I know these laws. I'm very careful with these laws. So that's the knowing. In the now, these laws, and now how they affect us now. So that's all it is. That's all it is. All is, all be. And that's using just this English language, right? But we say all, kulum, or aum, in Kemetic science, aum, or kulum, right? But now we say pau, which is that expansion, pau, or pau, and then paut. That expansion is all. Past, present, future, all places, persons, and things, and beyond, transcendental. Anyway, all the blessings to you, all and blessings, best, that deity best, the newborn, the deity best from Uganda that came up into the Nile Valley, right? Best. We can get into that one day and just explore that because they don't talk about that. They talk about Tahuti. It's Tahuti, and we're gonna go into that also. Usir, Asar, and Aset. But what about best? And Pa. What say Pata or Ta? We'll talk about that. And in some other podcast. What did you tell me? Here's my email. Give me some ideas. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me an idea, and we'll slap it around a little bit. It's like playing basketball. We'll slap it around a little bit and dunk. I give you the alley-oop. Here's the alley-oop. Woo! And you dunk. Boom! You know what I'm saying? So it's all like that. Okay? So I'm going to be out, and peace and blessings, y'all. All the blessings. I got to keep saying that, because no peace. I want you to have all the best of nature.